masculine man? Such a difficult thing to answer in many ways, but such an easy thing to decipher. Difficult because there's so many dudes that are cucked to the bone, that have been charred by lullabies, that have been told how to behave, and defeats the entire purpose of being a masculine man. But the thing is, there is some things to be able to parse out of this whole scenario, right? This sort of inversion polarity of the sexes. And it's what? It's that a masculine man could absolutely be a few things, right? And I think one in particular that really stands out to me is being disagreeable, and not for the sake of being a contrarian, but standing on your terms, okay? Putting a line on the sand and saying, this is what it is. This is where I stand, and being okay with the fact that you may get pushback, you may make some people uncomfortable, people may not like what you say, they may engage in personal attacks and character assassinations and the like, and that's just par for the course. That's just is what it is. And that goes to the next point, which is that you gotta live life on your own terms. You gotta do things that speak to your soul, that enrage you in ways that sort of enliven your spirit, that sort of ignite a fire in you. And don't get me wrong, look, that's very difficult to do in the modern era, in the modern age, because what? Because all your energy has been siphoned into these technocratic, like nonsensical gadgets and sort of silos, right? That you're basically yelling into a hall and there's nobody there. And so the outlets have been, they've been churned and burned. They've been turned to dust in many ways. And that's what I think it feels like for a lot of people. So there is that frustration with saying, well, what is there for me to do? It's not like the old ways are there to be had, right? But in many ways, there's more opportunities to live multiple lives, multiple iterations of yourself at the same time. So there is some opportunities. They've just changed a bit, but they're still there. You can still be the artist. You can still be the creative. You can still be the hands-on guy. You can still build things. You can still create beauty and art. That is still to be had. And I think that's what it is that we lose sight of the fact that it's not so clear, but the clarity is in the idea behind what you're doing. And I think that's where you got to lay your hat on, is saying, you know what, despite the criticism, despite the hesitation and perhaps the pushback I may get from those around me, I still got to go in on what it is that I think will define who I want to be. And that's super important, all right? Living your life on your own terms. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to be there if you decide to go the route that everybody prescribes. No one cares. No one's watching. It's just for you. The other one, super important, is dressing like a grown-up. You have no idea how many dudes are just caricatures of themselves, sagging their pants, wearing logos of teams, right, of sports teams, or of wearing, T-shirts that don't fit, or jeans that are ripped, or just things that make you look like a child. If you're a grown-up, if you're a man that's trying to age gracefully, I think you have to understand, okay, I've reached a certain point, as have I, that I realize, okay, there's certain things that I won't do anymore. I will not wear a T-shirt out in public unless I'm doing some kind of physical activity, sports or the like, playing tennis or boxing or running or hiking. Fine, I'll wear a T-shirt. But that's one thing that I don't budge on, right? I got to wear a button up. I try to dress as well as I can when I'm out on the streets. And I do get compliments from a lot of dudes. The girls, they look, maybe don't say anything, but definitely the guys, for sure, I'm always getting compliments from the fellas. So I love the fact that kings salute other kings when they see them coming into the room. So that's always a plus. And then the other one is, you are what you eat. Believe it or not, like when I was a vegan, spiritually that did something to me. That softened me up. That made me pudgy, physically and spiritually. I was cucked out. I was farting all the time. That was symbolically, that meant that I was just gassy. Like I didn't have much. I was all gas and no brakes. I didn't have anything. I didn't have that oomph. And I think that's what I was missing. So when I went back to eating, animal foods, the sense of urgency and becoming a man and doing the things that physically were required of me, that changed my mindset as well. So be careful about what you put in your body. The whole concept of not eating seed oils and the red 40 and all that stuff, try to avoid it as best you can. I cleaned up my diet like 90% of the way through, and I'll indulge every now and then because I still want to show the world that hey, I'll be all right. I'm not going to die if I drink a soda or if I have a candy or a chocolate bar or a little bit of French fries from a fast food spot. I'm not opposed to that at all, but for the majority of the things that I eat, I try to control that part of it. And sometimes it's not even what you eat, it's what you don't eat that's best. And the last one, the most important one, is being impeccable with your word. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of what you say to yourself, but what you say to others and how you carry yourself and how you communicate and how you convey what you're feeling. And one of the most important things is to be able to learn how to talk, to be able to speak in a way that is you, right? That you're not just trying to put on a show for others,